From the sounds of it, there are many giving tennis trading a go, but they're making some pretty typical newbie mistakes. And so in this video, I'm going to be pointing out what these mistakes are and then pointing you in the right direction. Maybe you're making some of these very mistakes that I'm going to be covering. Either way, if you can avoid making these typical newbie mistakes, then you are one step closer to making regular profits from trading tennis. So this is a very important video for you to watch. Go grab a nice cold beer or a shot of bourbon and let's get into it. So I am going to dive right into the content, but I do just want to let anyone know who's new to the channel. We do have two really great tennis trading freebies, which are absolutely free for you to download. The link is in the description, and maybe your first mistake in tennis trading is not getting a copy of one of these. Okay, now you got the odds prediction formula, which shows you how to predict the price moves in tennis. Pretty important stuff. And then you've also got Leader Basic if you want to get going with a beginner's strategy. Okay, so they're both absolutely free. The links to those are in the description, so make sure you get a copy of those, or if you're missing one of them, get the other one. Okay, so I'm going to dive into the content. Before we do that, I would absolutely love it if you could just click the like button to support the channel. That's all you got to do, really, to support us. If you find these videos useful in any way, that is all you have to do to show your support. Don't forget also to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you get all similar videos in the future. So anyway, these past few weeks especially, my inbox has been absolutely full with a lot of people trying out tennis trading for the first time, then emailing me with a lot of common mistakes. And mistake number one that I'm seeing a lot of people doing is doing too much research, which might sound strange because you might think, well, hold on, surely you can't do enough research, surely you can't have enough knowledge, but it doesn't quite work like that in tennis trading. Now I'm getting emails from people telling me that they're studying stats websites, doing hours of research before a match, so they're fully prepared to make that perfect trade, and then of course it doesn't quite go how you plan. But here's the thing, research is absolutely not necessary when trading tennis. Too much research can actually blind you, since it's what is happening in play on the court that is most important. It is the most important information of all. You actually want to have an unbiased mind when you're trading tennis, so you can get into the market without overthinking it. Remember, it's all in the numbers. We're looking for those low risk, high reward situations. We're looking for opportune moments to get in the market as well. And there isn't really that much research that you can do beforehand that can tell you when these situations are going to pop up in play. So my advice usually is to pretty much clear your mind and not have too much research or too much of a biased view before you enter the tennis markets, and just focus on the two players in front of you. I had a member of Ultimate Tennis Trading emailed me just a couple months back after he made a decent amount of money laying Naomi Osaka in the Miami Open. And for him, he couldn't understand why the markets were offering such favorable odds on the underdog when it was clear to everyone in the match that Naomi Osaka was absolutely being destroyed. She wasn't with it at all. And this member only found out later on that, well, Naomi Osaka is the world number one. That's probably why the markets were in favor of her so much. But his point, and what he admitted, was that if he knew that before and he did that research, there's no way he would have done the trade, and he would have overthought it and not got involved. So the main point of this is that it shows you should concentrate on what is happening in the match if you want to find your edge in tennis trading. You need to concentrate on that and only that. Okay, think of it as a blank slate. You just got two players right in front of you. You don't know which one is supposed to be better than the other one, and just judge them on their actual action on the court. And so I'm not saying you should do no research. You should do some research. And the next mistake I see a lot of people making when it comes to tennis trading is they're doing the wrong research. Now, a lot of people who are new to tennis trading, they're doing their research and they're just trying to predict the winner of the tennis match. And that is pretty much what they're thinking about. But you have to remember, that is not our primary aim when we're trading tennis. As a tennis trader, we're actually not that concerned about who is going to win the match. We're a lot more concerned about whether we're going to get those juicy price swings that can often happen in tennis matches, and we can profit from that. And so the pre-match research methods that are inside Ultimate Tennis Trader, and I did have some people asking about that, and the thing with those is that they're actually there to help you find those matches which are going to have the price swings. We're not actually focusing on who is going to win the match. We want to know that it's going to be a match which the markets have not quite priced up accurately, and is probably a little bit closer than the markets can expect, because those are the matches which are going to give us the best opportunities. Now, some get scared of the volatile markets and those volatile price movements in tennis. But once you know what you're doing, you will actually be embracing it, and that's what you're looking for. Some people are looking for it in completely the wrong way. They're looking for those matches where there is going to be no volatility, which is actually kind of hard to find. You don't want to be approaching tennis trading like that. You want to embrace the volatility. And obviously, if you wanted to learn exactly how to do that and much more, here is another reminder that Ultimate Tennis Trading is going to be opening again for the first time in a few months. And all the dates should be in the description of this video. Click the link in the description in order to get an invite to join. If you want a structured approach to learning how to trade tennis, then this is exactly for you. And you will learn how to trade a tennis match from start to finish. Even if you know nothing about tennis, you get the free low-risk strategies, the 2 advanced ones, and the orientation module will basically eliminate all the mistakes before you even start to make them. Okay, it's very, very detailed. So absolutely, this is exactly what you need if you want to learn how to trade tennis in full. And to reward the action takers, because we are a few days away from the next opening, we are giving out some early bird coupons for those who click the link the fastest and submit their email address. Okay, so if it all sounds good to you and you are interested, then yeah, submit your email address and apply for one of the early bird coupons. Those coupons are first come, first serve. Okay, just keep in mind, Ultimate Tennis Trading is designed specifically for the people who have no clue about tennis, and you will learn pretty much everything that was just mentioned, including all the strategies. Okay, so if you are interested in checking it out and want the chance at an early bird coupon, then just click the link below the video, submit your very best email address. And if you're watching this too late and the doors have closed, then we will just have to put you on the waiting list for the next opening. Another pretty common mistake when it comes to tennis trading is not understanding the retirement rules. And there are probably a lot of people who kind of get burned by this at some point in their early tennis trading career. I know it happened to me. So let me just point it out to you already. Basically, if a player retires or quits early for whatever reason, injury, or maybe they just want to go home early, then if it happens in the first set, everything is void. Everything. So if you've made a profit in the first set and then a player quits, then you don't get that profit. And on the flip side, if you've made a loss in the first set and then a player quits, then you don't take the loss. However, after the first set is completed, everything stands after that. So you need to kind of be aware of that. And this is why kind of bringing up live pictures, not to say you really have to follow the live pictures to trade tennis, but just having them there can give you a good understanding of what is going on. Because I've heard people tell me that they've been trading tennis, they put their money in the market, and suddenly the favorite went down to 1.01 and the match was over, and they're completely confused about what was going on. However, if you just had the live pictures up, you usually get a good inkling when there's going to be a retirement, because usually there's a player injured for a good period of time before that. They might be limping around. It's very, very rarely a complete surprise if you're watching the match. Okay, so that is kind of 2 mistakes thrown in there at the same time. But basically, those are the retirement rules. And in most cases, you do get quite a bit of a heads up when there is going to be a potential retirement pending. So just be aware of that, and just know that, yeah, if you've made a profit in the first set or you've made a loss in the first set and a player retires before that first set is complete, then everything is void. And so following on from that, and in hindsight, maybe this should have been mistake number 1 to put in a video, but basically you want to use at least 2 sources to follow the score when you're trading tennis. And ideally, one of those sources should be some live pictures. Now, I'm not saying this because you need to intensely follow the live pictures in order to trade tennis and try and read the match. That's not so necessary. A lot of it is in the numbers, as I've said quite a lot in these videos. However, you need to keep on top of the score. Now, the Betfair scoreboard is notoriously slow, and it could be a few points behind the actual real life points, which in tennis is absolutely huge. So ideally, you want to use at least 2 up-to-date scoreboards, and that's the other thing, is you can't rely on just one, because if one slows down or gets a glitch or something like that, then you're kind of all over the place and you're confused. So in an ideal world, you want to ignore the Betfair scoreboard, but you should bring up the Betfair live video, which is usually just there for most tennis matches on Betfair. They have the live stream in the bottom right hand corner, so there's absolutely no excuse not to use it. So load that up, and then you can keep track of the score there. That's usually the fastest source, but then also Flash Scores is a pretty fast source for the scoreboards as well. So, and you can use the sound notification on Flash Scores as well. So you want to use at least those 2, and obviously you can look around. There's probably other ones available, but I have found Betfair Live Video or the Bet365 one to be pretty reliable if you just want to keep on top of the scoreboard. And this kind of moves on to the next one, which is not acting fast enough. Now, like I said, the points, the odds are going to move with every point in tennis, okay? So if a player serves the ball and a point is scored, then the odds are going to move. And if you've got to exit the trade or enter the trade, you kind of need to do it before they serve again, because otherwise, well, the prices are going to move again. So you need to be pretty much on the ball when you trade in tennis. And that's why I said the Betfair live video is very, very useful, because you can see it visually. You can see that point scored, and then you can look to get your bet into the market. And if you're too slow with it, then yeah, the odds are going to have moved and you probably missed your opportunity. And this happens to a lot of newbies, especially when they enter the market. They enter the market and then they see their exit, which is a nice profit, and then they go to do it and they take too long. Well, the next point scored, and then the prices have moved against you as well. So yeah, you need to be on the ball, really, when you're trading tennis. That's rule number 1. But that's why I said having those scoreboards or just having the Betfair live video when you're inside the trade is quite important. And as I said, there's no real excuse not to use the Betfair live video if the option is there. If the option isn't there, then, to be honest, it's probably not a tennis match you want to be trading. Try and stick to the matches which have the live video option. The next typical mistake is not trading women's matches. Yes, it literally is a typical newbie mistake to avoid trading the women's matches. Make your life easier when you're starting out trading tennis and just stick to trading the women's matches. I found that it's almost like the difficulty level goes up a notch when you're trading men's matches. The women's matches are a lot more forgiving. There's a lot more breaks of serve, and it's a lot more fun for a newbie. So stick to trading women's matches. If you're totally new to tennis, try and avoid the men's matches, and especially avoid those 5-set men's matches in Grand Slams. It can be quite attractive for a lot of people to think, yeah, I'm going to be trading Djokovic or Nadal. To be honest, those are the matches you want to stay away from. Those aren't usually the greatest for actually trading tennis. It's usually actually the matches on the women's side of the tour. And then here's another one, is not trading the final set. Now, here's the thing, is that a lot of people kind of look at tennis trading and they're approaching it from totally the wrong angle. They're trying to find something predictable where they want to back a player, then lay them after the break of serve. However, you need to actually embrace the unpredictability. You need to embrace the volatility. So many will stay well away from the final set. And in some ways you can see why, because it can be extremely volatile. You could have it, you could have one player trading at 1.2 and then 5 minutes later, the other player's trading at 1.2. It can absolutely be mayhem. But obviously, you need to adapt your strategy and have the correct strategy when you're in the final set. Because if you have the correct strategy for it, these can be the most lucrative times when you're trading tennis. But of course, to be fair, I say it's a typical newbie mistake, and maybe when you are a newbie, it's not quite good to dive right into the final set, and maybe you should just find your feet trading the first set or the second set. But once you do start to learn tennis trading, then absolutely, the final set is where that big money is going to be made. So does this sound like any mistakes that you might have made when you've been trying to trade tennis? Let me know in the comments. If there's any other mistakes that you think you've made that we haven't covered, also let me know in the comments. Maybe we can address that in a future video. It'd be very, very interesting to hear. But anyway, that's about it. Remember, we are opening the doors to Ultimate Tennis Trading again very, very soon. The details for that are in the description of the video. So if you want to learn how to trade tennis in full, then this is absolutely for you. And if you want to get hold of one of the early bird coupons, you have to act early. Okay, so you have to pretty much submit your email address and apply now for one of those. Those are first come, first serve. Otherwise, we will be opening the doors on the designated dates. If you are too late, we just add you on to the waiting list for the next opening, because obviously some people watch these YouTube videos in the future when the doors are already closed. So either way, click the link below the video. Remember, Ultimate Tennis Trading, you learn how to trade a tennis match from start to finish, even if you know nothing about tennis in advance. You don't have to be a tennis expert at all in the numbers, like I said. We learn how to do the pre-match research, which takes 30 seconds. We did say a big mistake was people doing too much research and then doing the wrong research. The correct research you need takes around 30 seconds, and we explain exactly how to do that. You get three low-risk strategies, one for each set, and then the 2 advanced strategies as well. So if you are interested in that and taking your tennis trading to that next level, then this is absolutely for you. And if you want the chance of the early bird discount coupon, click the link below the video, submit your email address, and hopefully you'll be first in line for that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you're looking for some live demonstrations of some profitable tennis trading strategies so you can get a bigger idea of how it all works, the video on the screen is for you. It should give you a taster of the strategies that are currently working in the tennis markets. So click on that, go grab a nice cold beer, and I will see you in the next video.